Your Excellency, can I call you Arif Bhai? Because normally I have to be very cautious when. No, I can't say that Arif because मेरी संस्कृति वो नहीं है Arif कहना सिर्फ. आपने you have spoken so well, but don't you think the leaders like you, in your own community where you come from, because the current debate, if we go into current debate, don't you think that India is lacking scholars like India is now lacking Muslim scholars like you who are there, and no women Muslim leader who we can call the national Muslim leader. What's the reason for that?
You know, unfortunately,
Mike, sir.
Don't think that I'm disagreeing with you. But unfortunately, we cannot discuss any subject without putting these labels of community, etc., etc. I am born in a Muslim family. But I'm not I consider myself Suto va Sut Putro, Vayo va Kova Bhavam Meham, Deva Yattam Kule Janma Mada Yattantu Porusham. In which family I am born, this is something which is decided by the destiny. Deva Yattam. What I do with myself, that is the question of Purusharth. That is, all depends on my spirit, on my industry, on my efforts. That depends on that. So, you know it very well. Not now. Even in 1980, when somebody put 1980, my first year in Parliament, no, 1981, my second year in Parliament and first year as Deputy Minister for Information and Broadcasting. They asked me, twice they asked me, as minority representative. Third time when he put this question, then I told him, I said, I have been elected by Kanpur, which has hardly 11% Muslim population. Hardly 11%. So there I was going to everybody, trying to identify myself with every section of the population. When I went to the young people, I told them that I started as a student activist. When I went to the farmer people who are engaged in, I told them that I'm son of a farmer, I come from a farming family. To the advocates, I said, I have done my law. I really did not start my practice, but I am a trained lawyer. So I tried to identify myself with everybody. And after reaching Delhi, I become leader of one community. I'm not saying so now. 1980 printed interview is still available. So I said, please do not embrace me to say something more. Therefore, I am ready to reply to any question, even ready to discuss the communities, but I do not view myself as representing any particular community. Muslims have as much right over me as other Indians have right over me. Not that I am denying. No, they have every right over me.
You are absolutely right. I asked you national leaders, not minority leaders. I said national acceptable leader. So I knew what I was asking you. Arif Mohammed Khan is known as a national Muslim leader or Muslim comes later, national comes first.
Yes.
I'm saying similar national Muslim leaders.
No, what is your question?
Question is, why are we missing the nationalistic, like in other community, majority community also, there are not many nationalist leaders. Similarly, in your community also, scholars like you and everybody else in the past, Maulana Azad and anybody, why are we missing those kind of leaders now?
Acha, we are missing those kind of leaders. I think then we can't blame any community, we have to blame ourselves. That we have not been able to provide right kind of education. For instance, I will tell you, soon after independence, I was born after independence, there was a lot of resistance against the modern education. But now there is no resistance. And even in the case of, I know for sure, my village in Bulandshahr district is on the bank of Ganga. On the other side of Ganga, the next district starts. So it is the remotest part of the Bulandshahr. From my small village, more than 50 young girls, they bicycle their way to the college, which is at a distance of 8 kilometers. So today, what we need is to create more opportunities, more facilities, because I know for sure that people try when people started sending particularly their girls to the school, there was a lot of opposition. But the parents refused to listen to anybody. So change is happening, not that change is not happening, but the speed is not as we would desire it to be.
Arif bhai, sometimes it is difficult to forecast how you became a famous person, how you became a famous personality. Because you are identified with fighting for the minority women rights, and you resigned. You are the only minister who will resign for a cause. So do you think in 1984, I think
86.
83,
86, I
86 when
resigned.
you resigned, do you think situation is worse or better for the right, for the cause you fought?
The situation never remains the same. Either it deteriorates or it improves. I see, despite many reports in the newspapers to the contrary, I feel that there is a lot of improvement. In 1986, even very educated people, they were not even ready to look at my speech. And they just believe that I have said something against Islam. But to the extent, I have said it even earlier, to the extent that in 87, 88, 89, my own relatives would come to invite me. There is some function in the family, marriage or something. And at the time of leaving, they will say in my ear, send the family, you do not come.
I'll follow this question with you now. I'll follow up this question because since you are a governor, I can't ask you direct political
No,
questions.
you can ask any question. There is no problem.
I can't ask you about BJP. Why are you fighting Kerala government there all the time? You are the only governor fighting every day.
No, I'm not fighting the Kerala government at all. What I'm doing is that legally, I have told them that if you give one single instance where I have tried to interfere in the administration or in the work of the government, I will put in my papers within minutes. But legally speaking, the responsibility to run the universities is with the chancellor. That is a power which has been given by the assembly of every state. What they wanted was, they wanted to use me like a rubber stamp to have men of their choices as vice chancellors, which they had been having for the last so many years. But because they did not have them, they turned against me.
I get your point, but the question is,
on no other issue, there was any conflict with the government. But on the question of the appointment of the vice chancellor, and fortunately, for 2 years I was lying bit low. But after 2.5 years, the Honorable Supreme Court gave a clear-cut verdict that it is the discretion of the chancellor. No one else can even recommend. And he will have to take the responsibility. It was only after the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court's judgment, that I started asserting my authority.
We have got former Chief Justice Mr. Lalit is here in front of us, and there are other judges also. They are sitting here.
Okay.
I was discussing with him. I just go back to women question. It's a very political, personal question I am asking you. When you resigned, because Rajiv Gandhi was seen as a very modern thinking, secular person, when you resigned, you must have gone to him. Did he say something, if you can disclose here?
No. I have already disclosed. He was very nice.
Which you have not disclosed.
He was very nice to me. He tried to persuade me to withdraw my resignation. But that happened in the evening. Before that, so many people. in the morning, right from the morning till about 4 o'clock, I was made to sit in the room next to the Prime Minister's room. First Arun Singh Ji, then all those ministers under whom I had served as a junior minister, and finally Narasimha Rao Ji. And it was at that time when Narasimha Rao Ji, he did not mean anything bad. He was just being nice to me. He said even Shah Bano has changed. And she has said that she does not want to avail this facility. So why you should? So I said, sir, I am not fighting for Shah Bano. This has become necessary for me because I spoke in Parliament for 57 or 59 minutes defending the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, both on the basis of the Constitution and the law, and also I quoted profusely from Quran and Hadith, showing that the law, I'm not saying Supreme Court, the law, because Supreme Court merely gave a judgment in accordance with the existing law. So therefore, if the law requires an ex, in the case of destitution, if the woman does not have, after divorce, if she does not have the means to keep her body and soul together, then in such cases, if the law provides that the former husband should pay this amount, then there is nothing against the religion, because religion in any case, Quran is saying very clearly whether the person is destitute or is not destitute. Quran is saying, Walil mutallaqati mata'um bil maruf haqqan alal muttaqeen. And even for the divorced woman, provision should be made. This is a duty on the righteous. So you remember what was the stand which was taken for by the personal law board? They said this is for the righteous people, not for ordinary run of Muslimin. So these ridiculous arguments.
I asked you a question about Rajiv Gandhi's reaction.
Rajiv Ji basically, for Rajiv Ji, I think it was very embarrassing, because the day I spoke in Parliament, he sent me a letter I reached home, and within about half an hour, I received a 2-line letter from him congratulating me. What a brilliant performance. And everybody is praising your speech. And then he took the U-turn. So it was a bit embarrassing for him. So what he could have said, therefore he did not meet me.
He appreciated your speech first. Then
not just appreciated verbally, he wrote a letter to me. And he has written, today you can go to the Home Minister and see the file, what he told me. Because I was at that time in the Home Ministry.
Yeah, you had
Minister of State for Home Affairs. He wrote on the file. He said, no compromise can be made with these fundamentalist people. And then he took the U-turn.
What do you think happened? What you may be knowing, because many people came and tried to, how he changed.
Now something in which I was not participating, I will be only guessing. I will be relying on what others have told me.
Because current politics...
Others have told me, and that I think will not be right, but I personally feel that, in fact, I was in my constituency, about more than 100 kilometers away from the district headquarters. And district magistrate came rushing to me, and he said he has received a call from PM office and they want me to reach Delhi by the evening. When I reached here, then I was informed by PM office, somebody in the PM office, man is there, but I don't want to name everybody. He told me that Prime Minister is going to Qatar for some celebration of the coronation of the ruler. And the name of the Minister of State for External Affairs was there as Minister in waiting with the Prime Minister, but Prime Minister changed it. And he wanted you to come because he said, specifically they told me, because he said that people are spreading this rumor that I am going to disown the stand of Arif Mohammed Khan. So let us kill those rumors. I went there. Next day in the morning, because my room was next to him, I went, after breakfast, I went to his room. And he told me, he said that I will give instructions to AICC and you should launch a campaign against these people. I said, are you sure? Because by that time, I had started receiving information that some confabulations are on, some discussions are going. So fortunately, I did not take that bait.
Anyways, so I'm going back to another question because you have little time and we are over. Do you think there is a need for, you fought for that, uniform civil code for required immediately interpretation? It will help all the women.
You know, I do not know why uniform civil code should be an issue of contention. In a country like ours, there is a uniform civil code, at least for almost all the non-Muslim Indians, there is a uniform civil code. Same law applies to Hindus, to Sikhs, to Jains, to Buddhists. Leave Jains, Buddhists and Sikhs outside. Let us discuss Hindus. Has the law achieved uniformity among them? The purpose of the law is not achieving uniformity of practice and rituals. The purpose of uniformity of law is to ensure uniformity of rights and duties. Right from Konkan region of Maharashtra down to Kerala. If you tell people in Kanpur, for instance, that the first right to marry a young girl is that of mother's brother, then what people in Kanpur will say or Delhi will say? Purpose of the law is not to bring about uniformity of practices and uniformity of rituals. This is not the purpose of the law. Purpose of the law is to bring about uniformity as far as the rights and obligations which arise from the fact of marriage. And we can very easily draft a law. We can take care anything which is prohibited by religion.
Like?
Anything which is prohibited. I'm giving you a principle. We shall not provide in the law anything which is prescribed by the religion. We shall not delete it from the law. Like in Muslim marriage, meher, the provision of meher is there. Now, if any time, whenever we have uniform civil code is not going to declare that no more Muslim husband will be obliged to pay meher to his wife. No, you can pay even double the amount by all means.
Yeah.
So do not bring in anything which is prohibited by the religion, and do not proscribe anything which is prescribed by the religion.
Let me ask you last question, which is very important, because you are a proponent of liberal values and everything. Don't you think Prime Minister Modi needs a person like you to join his cabinet and do whatever others cannot do?
Am I the right person to reply to this question?
The way you are speaking...
But I think the work which I am doing, my activities are not confined to Kerala. And this has happened only because of the government. I spend on an average, normally a governor is not supposed to spend more than 5 days outside the state. My average comes to more than 15 days every month.
Arif bhai, you are supporting me that you are doing more national work than the local work. So why don't you join the cabinet?
Possibly, here I have the time and freedom to do these things. If you put me somewhere here, then I will be tied down.
You can be traveling everywhere. But did he ever offer you the cabinet minister?
These things, this is not for me. And secondly, please do not forget that 2007, I had taken a conscious, deliberate decisions to withdraw myself. Well, I started my public life when I had not complete. I became minister when I was running my 26th year.
Yeah.
So I started very young. And my first love has always been books, reading, and I had never done, after university, I had not done writing. But right from 2007, after 2007, I started writing for the newspapers and journals, and then...
You're not answering a question, Arif bhai.
No,
I know, I can't beat you in intellect, I can't beat you.
The reason I'm telling you is that I had taken a decision that I do not want to be active in electoral politics. I had withdrawn myself from electoral politics, and I assure you that if 2017, when the Honorable Supreme Court gave judgment banning triple divorce, after that, triple divorce had not come to an end.
Yes.
And everybody was saying, now Supreme Court has banned it, therefore no need to do anything. After a month, I wrote a 6-page letter to Honorable Prime Minister. And I said, this is what your party leaders are saying. This is not correct position. Supreme Court can only declare it to be unconstitutional and anti-religious provisions. Supreme Court cannot provide any punishment. Unless some punishment is incorporated in the law, this is not going to come to an end. Next day he called me. I went to his office. He had marked with red ink various portions in my letter, and he told me that now you need not talk to anybody, and within next 10 days, the bill was passed by Lok Sabha. Again in Rajya Sabha, the opposition stalled it. And when after 1.5 years, when they finally
Got it done.
Got it passed in the Rajya Sabha, I thought it is my duty to go and thank him because I had written the letter. I went to him, I called, and I was immediately given time. I went there. I said, I have come to thank you. He said, उसको छोड़िए अब ये बताइए अब जिम्मेदारी लेंगे कुछ तो मैंने क्या now so it is out of gratitude. Otherwise I'm very thankful to God for everything and very thankful to him, but I wanted to pursue with my academic things.
Thank you, Arif bhai. Thank you very much, everybody, for nice interaction here. Thank you very much.